Behind home plate, we bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation Baltimore Sports Talk. As always, I am your dearly stirring host, Matt Soroka. And as always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
And as always, we've been saying just wait till the month of June. The Orioles will be good when June comes.
Yeah, I think we said that in March, then we said in April, then we said in May. We're
Yes.
finally right in June.
We're finally right.
Yeah.
I think we have, 3 sweeps in the past 3 weeks or something like that?
Okay, I don't know. That sounds right. We're playing good ball. That West Coast trip, we like those West Coast teams. Give us more Mariners and Angels.
We swept the White Sox, we swept the Mariners, and then we swept the Angels this weekend.
Yeah, it's a good. And we had a few. You know what we haven't had all year, Josh, and welcome back. I want to hear some European stories here in a second. But you know what we haven't had all year is blowout wins. And we had one against the Tigers. We had one against we've had a couple, some more home run balls.
Yes.
I was checking our stats right before the show, though. I'm still surprised that Cedric Mullins leads the team in home runs. We got to change that. But we've had a couple blowout wins, which have felt good.
Yeah, I agree. I hate the blowout wins, though, because every time we get a blowout win, we manage to not get 2 runs the next day. There's always we used all our power the night before.
Yeah, but the good news is we've only had about 2 blowout wins. So
Right. But yeah, 8 wins, 4 losses so far for the month of June. So,
are you one of those people doing the math? If we can go 8-4 for the rest of the season, the next, then we can finish at this record, and then we have a chance to make the.
And it's got to be. Well, yeah, I did that math yesterday. I did do it. Of course
you did. Okay.
I did, and it put us at, if we continued that pace, we'd get to 91 wins.
All right, which is good enough to make a wild card.
Right. I am more focused on. I lost my phone before the show starts, I guess. But I was more focused on now, if you look in the wild card rankings, we are like 6 games back. And that's more where I can look and be like, well, that's a reachable number.
Yes, you're 6 games back, but also 6 teams ahead of us.
Yes, there are.
But you look at the 3 teams in the wild card.
Right, but you look at the teams ahead of us, the Angels. Well, we just had a great series against them. The Royals, the Indians, the Rangers, the Red Sox. Well,
Guardians, Josh. News. Guardians.
Okay, did I say Indians?
You did. Guardians. Yeah.
The Red Sox, the Rangers, Twins, Mariners, Blue Jays, Tampa. It's teams that we can be competitive against. So it gets me hope.
It's this weird space, right, Josh, where this is like a season like no other, where our record says
we're right season next like to no other. Athletics. I've heard that before.
But in terms of, and it's nice not to be at the bottom of the cellar anymore, but it's in terms of like, if you look at our team, like our record is worse than the Angels, but no one would say the Angels are a better team than us. And then you went through the list of teams. Like I still feel like this is a playoff team, but at the same time, we have to play kind of perfect baseball and have perfect health to make the playoffs just because we've dug such a hole at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we need to continue to win series, like we've said before, and get the occasional sweep. Yes. Yeah. And I guess the other thing I do every day after a win is I look at the standings. We're creeping on the Red Sox, and I hope
you don't look at the standings after losses, just after wins.
No, just after wins, because I also look and see what other teams in baseball are we now better than as we creep out of that cellar. It's like, oh, we're the 2nd worst team. Now we're the 3rd worst team, the 4th. I think we're up to like the 5th worst team now.
Yeah, I do the same thing with the stock market. If I open up my Schwab app and everything's in green, I log on like 12 other times that day just to check it out. If it's in red the first time I look, I don't look at it for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
It's a
You take
similar
your
idea.
losses, take the day off. If the Orioles win, I take a look and see, okay, we're moving in the right direction. I might get a little cocky, and say, hey, we're gonna really move up in this division. But I enjoy the days after the wins.
Okay. I want to get to, I got some European questions. But before
Okay.
I get there, Josh, how do you what do you attribute the turnaround to? Is this just a matter of injuries? I think I know where you're going with this, but this is just an all Hyde issue. We got Hyde out of there. Now we're winning ball games. Is it an injury issue? Is it like I don't know, like how what was I feel like we're watching a different team now than we were watching in April.
Yeah. It's injuries. It's that Jordan Westberg and Colton Cowser are on the field together at the same time as everyone else. This is the team that we were supposed to have opening day. And I guess we had them opening day, but quickly started knocking guys off. And it gives me hope that when we see the offense come together like this, that maybe we'll see some of the health in the bullpen and rotation come together as well in the next month and two.
Well, I'll tell you what, Josh, the bullpen has been fantastic the past month.
Yes.
It has been. Yes.
The emergence of Brian Baker as your eighth inning guy has been excellent. Felix Bautista, Sash and I were watching when he hit triple digits for the first time this season. So that was good to see.
Yes.
He looks better.
Dominguez is lights out.
Oh, Dominguez lately.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Throw him in there. Bases loaded. It doesn't matter. And by the way, our new manager is pushing all the right buttons. And even
small
Keegan
ball.
Aiken. Oh, and
We're
small
even
ball's
bunting
back.
the ball.
Base running, small ball, it's all back.
Yeah.
But also the long ball's back too.
Yes. So I don't know. Some of that is philosophy stuff. And aggressiveness on the base paths. There was a game over the weekend where we were just sending everyone, where it was go, go, go. And Britton's arm over at third base might have fallen off the amount it was spinning.
Yeah.
So there's also that. So there are, I'd like to say it's injuries and guys back and the team meshing again with everyone back. But there's also, you see some philosophy changes where you have to wonder if it's managerial.
I also feel like, the lineup is a little bit more consistent. Jackson Holliday is your leadoff guy now. Doesn't matter if you're righty or lefty. He's your leadoff guy unless you get today off.
And that was a big thing that Tony Massinelli went and told Jackson Holliday the day he became manager, hey, you're going to be batting every day.
Yeah.
He went and told him you're not taking days off. Now,
in terms of, and we also are joined by Silas today. He's here hanging out with us. Say hi, Silas.
Hi.
Okay, good. The manager Tony, Josh, we ribbed him a little bit at the beginning because he was a little bit
because
too
he's the
transparent.
worst. He's the worst at press conferences.
Right.
He's still bad.
He still uses the term points.
Yes. We got more points than the other team.
Which now but Josh, it's so funny because when you lose and the manager says points, it's annoying.
Yes.
When you lose and the manager says points, it's kind of endearing.
Oh, yeah, we put up a lot of points today.
Yeah, and he knows what they're called. He knows that they're referred to as runs in baseball. He grew up, like he is a baseball lifer. His dad was a baseball coach, I think.
But why do you think he does that? Why do you think he says points?
I think that's just it's an inside thing. I think there's probably a lot of people refer to them as points inside the game.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think anyone refers to baseball runs as points.
Then why does Tony refer to them as points?
I don't know. That's why I was asking you. It's one of the annoying things.
You think he doesn't know that they're called runs? I think it's endearing now that they're winning. I like it now.
I think maybe he's a basketball coach that we happen to get. I think it's a Ted Lasso situation where you took a guy from a different sport and put him in here.
He doesn't know there's called runs. No, he's a little bit quirky. He is, I think, too honest. But again, those things when you lose are kind of embarrassing and annoying. But when you're winning, I kind of like it. So I used to watch the press conference as like cringeworthy moments, and now I kind of am looking for the next silly things he says because I kind of like it. So manager Tony, be careful. He might grow on us. And you mentioned Zach Britton earlier, and you referred to maybe perhaps an injury risk of all his waving runners around, and maybe that will hurt his long-term prospects as his manager if he gets hurt, if he hurts his rotator cuff. But Mattolini, be careful. He's growing on us here in Birdland if he keeps on winning.
The winning helps. I feel like there's a scene from A League of Their Own or something where Tom Hanks is yelling at the girls that they're runs, not points. Like, because I want to know what that's about.
Okay, okay, so Josh, you mentioned, forget the points. You mentioned, I like it. You mentioned, I hope he says touchdown at some point when we score 7.
Yeah, I hope he says we won by a touchdown.
Yeah, I hope that.
We were just a field goal away.
Yeah, I hope we get them. But he's doing basketball. Maybe he'll say we're just, a 3-point shot away.
Yeah.
But you mentioned things he's maybe a little bit with the aggressive base running. That could be a manager thing, right? Like talk to the coach and be more aggressive.
Yes.
There's a couple of times I thought Zach Britton could have sent actually the guy at third, and he hasn't. I actually think Zach Britton. Buck Britton. You're right. Thank you. Zach's brother Bruck at times could be a bit more aggressive at third base.
I like the aggressiveness. Yeah. You could also argue the aggressiveness is a sign of a bad team. You could also say the aggressiveness is we're not good at runners in scoring positions, so we just go for it.
You got to push the envelope, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of aggressive base running, I just got to say, we're watching this game that's not going well here on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they're struggling.
It's Jake Magnum or whatever. This guy's annoying for the Rays. This guy, a little speedy little guy who just gets infield hits all the time. I'm a little bit annoyed with him already. But Josh, philosophy change, maybe a little bit more aggressive in the base pass. We talked about the lineup, maybe a little bit more. He's still switching things up. He's still, I feel like we don't have the same lineup every day, but a little bit more consistent, a little bit ignoring more the lefty-righty splits, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But he's also managing the pitching squad differently.
That's what I was going. My next point was, starters specifically, right?
Yeah, with doing like the giving Blewett to start the game for 2 innings before Povich.
Yeah, and did the same thing with Kramer. Was it Aiken and Kramer?
Aiken and Kramer earlier in the week.
And that worked really well.
Yeah, and they both worked out well. And I looked at the schedule for both of them because I was confused. I was like, we've got a day off here and a day off here. It's not like we've got a long stretch. It doesn't make sense to do this, but it worked. And then he does it like 2 days later, and it works again.
It reminded me of, I was reading, Josh, and the whole idea, I think, is maybe because of righty-lefty matchups, and maybe because, you want to get through some lefties at the beginning, in the example of Keegan Aiken, and then you have Kramer for the righties. It reminds me, I was reading, I'm sorry I'm going so slow through this book. I apologize to John Miller.
You're still in the Earl Weaver book?
I'm still in the Earl Weaver book. I'm reading other books too, and I just kind of picked this up. This was my go to Sas's practice and read the book.
Yeah, this is your fun read.
Yeah. But anyway, it was to the part where Earl Weaver had this idea where the shortstop, I forget the guys who was playing shortstop, but essentially he did the reverse pinch hitter where he would have a really good hitter play shortstop and bat him like 2 or 3. First. He would get 1 at bat, and then he would bring in the normal shortstop.
Yeah.
For defense. It would be like if you put for this lineup when Hanley was here, put Kerstedt batting second and catcher, and he's playing catcher, and then he hits 1 time in that second hole as catcher. Then defensively, Hanley goes out there. It's kind of the reverse, which I think is a pretty cool idea.
Yes, but you got to be really good that your manager counts on you for just 1 at bat every game.
Yeah, but if you are just like a pinch hitter, right? You're not guaranteed an at bat.
Right.
At the end of the game, everything has to line up. But there,
so
you
that
kind of guarantees at bat. Now he did it when
also
you need kind of the expanded rosters to do that because it wastes a whole bunch of spot. Yeah.
And it also reminds me of the discussion. Idea. Yeah, and it reminds me of the discussion we've had many times about the closer role and how why do you save your closer for the 9th inning, your best pitcher at that point, if the best hitters are showing up in the 8th inning? If you could shut things down in the 8th inning and then get the bottom of the lineup in the 9th, why are you then holding the guy over there just to get the save, just in that closer position, where you want your guys and just rethinking how to get through 9 innings differently with the players you have. I love it.
Yeah, and it seems like now manager Tony is using Cano in some of those high level situations. We mentioned Aiken and Dominguez, but Cano used to be the 8th inning guy that seems more Baker's thing now. And Cano
Yeah.
can be deployed more strategically,
And it's
especially because
and it's
Cano
same
can
with-
be a strikeout or a ground ball pitcher.
right. And Dominguez is the same way. They're bringing in Dominguez in key situations.
Yeah. It
Right,
also
so we
seems
need
like,
we
Josh,
need this to end.
these starters have a little bit longer of a leash. I'm seeing less 4
Yes.
2/3.
Yes, much longer leash. And you know what he's doing? He's giving the starter, if the starter put the team in a position to win, he is giving the starter a chance to get out of the inning. He is not yanking them as soon as there's a base runner on. He's allowing the starter to get out of the. If he puts himself in trouble, try to get himself out, which I like.
He'll let a runner get on first. He'll maybe even let a runner get on second. When they get runners up first, second, and third, he's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, right. But when he's got Dominguez and Cano out there, he can trust that he can still shut that inning down.
Yeah,
which is good and helpful.
Well,
I am very curious about the team morale right now, and it's easy to say that winning cures everything. But I think we're seeing too much different on the field, like we're covering now, that it's not just winning, that there's a different philosophy.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, this all comes down to who scores the most points, and that's going to determine kind of morale and all this other stuff. But this team does have a different feel and different vibe. And we mentioned the injuries. That certainly helps. But it's not just, I mean, the injuries have nothing to do with the bullpen pitching better.
No.
With starters pitching better.
Injuries is the easy answer. And when Kowser comes back and immediately hits home runs, and Westbrook comes back, immediately hits home runs, it makes it an easy argument.
When Sanchez comes back and immediately hit home runs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're just looking at the box score, and you're not looking deep enough into watching these games. When you watch the games, there's a different vibe.
Yeah. And this makes me, I can't tell you how happy this makes me, Josh, because we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, a couple weeks ago. And I don't remember when we last talked, but like my fear was that this isn't just a bad season. Maybe this is a bad team. And I think it's become clear that, okay, we got off to it was a perfect storm of events, injuries, bad performance, and all of that shaking itself out. Dean Kramer was never as bad as he was in April. That's not Dean Kramer. Charlie Morton was never as bad as he was for his first 6 starts. That's not Charlie Morton. These things are evening out. We see some of the free agent signings where it seems like every free agent signing was a disaster. Now, Ramon Laureano looks like a really good signing. He's a really good baseball player.
Yes.
That signing is working out. Charlie Morton just threw a weird start where they had 5 shutout innings and 10 strikeouts.
10 strikeouts, yeah.
Before the rain delay. And so he looks now like a good fit starter. And so I think
Sanchez came back and actually started hitting the ball.
Yeah. And again, I think Sanchez is a huge upgrade offensively over Hanley. So I'm looking forward to more Sanchez over Hanley.
So is Westbrook.
Oh yeah, and Westbrook and Kowser are both huge upgrades over in their respective positions. So it does feel like all the things that went wrong, everything went wrong, a perfect storm of wrong events in March and April going into May. And now a lot of that stuff is sorting stuff out. There's still some lingering things here, like Tyler O'Neill. What's the deal, dude?
Getting hurt. Yeah, being hurt now during his rehab.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's still stuff like that where you're like, you're what's happening here? But for the most part, everything that was wrong at the beginning of the season seems to kind of have righted itself. And this is a team here in June that we thought we were going to get all year.
Yes. Yeah, and this is a team that, again, I know it's that they're winning and winning cures everything, but this is a team that you look and you think they can win games again. Like you think, well, maybe we can make a run for that last wild card slot. Maybe we're not sellers, as everyone wants to write this team off as sellers because it was so ugly at the beginning. It might not be too bad. And I can't believe this is the first time we're playing Tampa all year, right?
Is it?
I don't think we've played them yet.
I saw we play them a couple of times in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think they've got their schedule. They got a weird schedule because they got a weird schedule because in July and August they only play like 8 games at home because of the heat.
Okay.
So they're big road trips for July and August. So I think that's part of it.
Okay.
But we've got a lot of divisional matches left, and when you have everyone in the division's been playing better than us, but we've got a team healthy that can put up fights against any of these teams. And when you see the Red Sox make a huge move like dumping Devers, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's embarrassing right there. That's
Yeah.
It feels like a salary dump at the beginning of the year. I don't know. I can't recall.
I tried to
Trading one
find
of the top
something
10
similar.
hitters. I mean, yeah. I
It's
think the Luka trade in the NBA was shocked everybody, but
Right,
even that was
it's
just
like
different.
it's a clubhouse cancer type move.
Yeah, but he was still putting up the numbers.
He
Like you
was.
would think, like figure it out.
But he complained about not playing third base. He complained about being a DH. He
Yeah.
complained about playing first base.
But isn't it the thing, Josh, we always complain about in sports, where normally it's the coach or the GM who gets fired, not the player?
Right.
Now if it's a player gets shipped out.
It was. And it also goes against the whole, we say, well, winning cures everything in a clubhouse. Apparently not, because
If
they were winning.
Yeah.
He was playing well, and it still couldn't be worked out in that clubhouse.
Yeah. But this is I don't see how anyone can look at that and say this is not like good news for everyone else in the AL East.
It is.
Right?
And that's why there was no news of them shopping him. They wanted to they made a deal and said, all right, good. Let's quietly get rid of it. Let's move on. Get him as far away from Boston as we can.
And that is as far as Boston.
And a place where we won't have to face them.
Because Boston, as we know, because we were there recently, is a hardcore baseball town, obviously. And this comes, just a few years after the infamous trading of Mookie Betts, their best player. So this is the second time.
It's the second time
that a huge market franchise team has traded away the best player.
The face of the team. Yeah, the face of the team. When we were there, they did the Devers bobblehead. I guarantee the highest selling City Connect jersey for them this year was Devers.
It's a good thing they did the Devers bobblehead early in the season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And if they have any Durant bobblehead nights, hurry up and have them, because I heard he's on the market. So
yeah, I don't know. I hope it. They were playing great. They won 5 in a row up to that point. So hopefully they struggle now off that.
Yeah, but we're in a weird spot here where, and I'm a little bit annoyed, and I'm leaving the country here at the end of the week for a few weeks, and I'm a little bit annoyed because this is, I feel like, right, like the next month.
It's the whole
season.
Shift. It's the season.
It's the season, because you got to decide, as if you're Mike Elias, am I going to go all in at the trade deadline, or am I going to? There's going to be Mike Elias is going to be so stinking tempted, because there could be so many good offers out there, because there's so many teams. You read up all the teams in wildcard contention, and there's going to be a ton of teams in wildcard contention. Few teams who are going to be dealing, and so if you want to be a seller,
we've got stuff.
Yeah, and I think that the price is going to be high. So Mike Elias is going to be tempted. So we got to make sure, the Orioles got to make sure we don't tempt Mike Elias by being in a position where we're sellers.
I think there's a very good chance we do both, that we sell and buy.
Yes.
The Austin Hagues, Dominguez.
Because there's some people that maybe you're like, well, we could trade him and we could bring someone else in. We could still make it work. And Elias is going to be itchy. Elias is going to be antsy to do something this season. Yeah, you're going at the spot where when you come back in 3 weeks, this team's either all the way back in and making a run, or we've given up and the season's over.
Yeah. So I'm really curious to see what happens, because now we got some more divisional games, and I'm curious to see where this season shapes up next couple of weeks, because I feel like it could go one of two ways.
These two series are going to be very important.
Yeah, the Rays and then the Yankees.
Yeah.
Just look at the difference. We took 2 weeks off the podcast while I went to Europe.
Yeah.
And in that 2 weeks, the team got healthy and got hot.
Yeah.
And now we're coming in here all positive about it.
I bet if you look at the Fangraphs odds, I don't pull it up, but I bet we've doubled our playoff odds. I bet it went up from something like 2% odds to probably 5% odds in the past couple weeks, just because how well we've been playing. All right. we got some good Orioles talk in there, Josh. I have to ask you, I've resisted. I want to get into a little bit of your European trip. What, you got some stats for me there?
At 44% is baseball odds. That doesn't seem right.
That's not true. That's not true. Maybe to start the season.
BetMGM has a 7% chance.
Okay, that's higher than I thought. I would say 5. Okay, that's great. I mean, we said what it was a few weeks ago. I think we were down 2, maybe even below 2% at some point this season. So that's a step in the right direction. I want to. I'll be honest, my life has been insane the past couple of weeks as I plan, not just for me to go to Tanzania, but I'm taking a group of students, which is way too much involved. I stress out taking myself.
5% on Fangraphs.
Okay. Yeah. I stress out taking myself, but taking other people to Tanzania is.
Yes.
So anyway, I have all that to say. I kind of haven't listened to any podcasts or followed anything really. Kind of been unplugged as I kind of get my stuff done. So I know you've been kind of providing updates on TMOS with your European travels. Could you share with our listeners? We haven't done a show in 2 weeks because Josh has been traveling across Europe, getting cultured, hopefully, getting his mind open, hopefully.
Yeah, and I thought of trying to do a show from the road with you, but the way your schedule works out and mine, I'd be doing it like 3 in the morning. It was always interesting to watch when the Orioles. I had a bad stretch where the Orioles were on the West Coast at the same time that I was in Europe time, and I'd look at my phone and it would say the Orioles play at Italy time 3:35 a.m. And I'd be like, well, there's.
Were you able to watch the games on the MLB at Bat app? How does that work over there?
Yeah, yes. There were a few times where I woke up and watched the games and watched the end of the games in the morning on the MLB app.
Okay, I can get the MLB at Bat app on in Tanzania.
You can. Okay. Yes, right. It'll work fine.
I don't know if I've got strong enough Wi-Fi.
And I had a few day games where I was able to watch them because the times lined up, where there was day here and like 10 o'clock at night where I was. I think it was a 6-hour time difference with Italy, if I remember correctly.
Did you go into like were there any baseball bars or any place that were showing the games in a public way where you could watch it? Okay.
No, I got invited. The Orioles, I don't forget their Twitter. There's an Orioles UK podcast and blog. And those boys,
is that part of the Santander fan club?
I believe so. Okay. And those boys invited me to a bar for Sunday night baseball. But it was like 10 p.m. at night for the game, and I just was not up for going across London to go to that. I couldn't.
You're not a boy anymore with those young men. You're an old man here.
Yeah, I was worn out.
At 10 o'clock. Yeah.
But on our trip, we went to London, Paris, Venice, Florence, Tuscany, Rome, and the Amalfi Coast. So hit a lot of Italy.
Yeah. And this is your first time in Europe at all?
I've spent about 20 hours in London.
Oh, right. On a layover. Yeah.
For a long layover. But yeah, first time. So doing all the touristy things, saw all the tourist hotspots, the Big Ben, the London Eye, the London Tower, the Eiffel Tower, the changing of the guards, the Louvre, the Mona Lisa, a few different museums, the Colosseum. We had a cool Airbnb that opened right up to a canal in Venice. So a lot of cool things we saw.
Yeah, it seems like you hit all the big ones.
We did.
What were some of your favorite either things that happened or favorite moments from your trip?
The Eiffel Tower is incredibly impressive.
Okay.
That's
something you can go up. You can go up the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
You can. Did you go up?
Yes, but I only went. There's ticket gougers that buy all the tickets, and then you have to resell them through their group tours and stuff. So to get the tickets to go all the way to the top, it's impossible without overpaying.
Oh man, like World Series tickets.
So yeah, so I got the tickets that go to the second level. So you go like up halfway or something.
You can't walk up there, buy a ticket, and go up to the top?
No, you can't walk up and buy a ticket for anything.
Oh, all right.
So I went to the second tier thing, and then and checked it out from there. And I mean, that's impressive. You're still way up in the air.
Yeah.
And it was cool. And it's impressive how solid it is, as far as like it's just open steel and it feels completely solid. When you think about, I've been in skyscrapers where like every now and then you're like, oh, this building's moving a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't feel any of that there.
Yeah.
So that was impressive. I walked up the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool because the
Like,
stairs.
they have stairs that you can just walk up?
They have stairs that go around it, but they're very narrow and they're leaning because the whole tower's leaning.
Okay.
So it's a little crowded and you got to walk up like, I think it's 300 or 400 stairs to get to the top.
Your own little lighthouse.
So I did that. I walked 67 miles in 12 days.
Yeah.
I believe
it. That's how you do it.
So, and
no
the Coliseum,
Ubers, just walking. Love it.
Some Ubers, but the Coliseum is impressive because when you go to the Coliseum, you realize nothing has changed. That the Coliseum, you might as well walk into M&T Bank Stadium. There's different entrances for different seats. There's sections of seating for the rich people and the poor people. There's a big platform in the middle ready for the stage and presentation. And you realize the entertainment that we enjoy, that we do this podcast around, it really just all came from that Coliseum. And it just growed into what we have today. Grew.
Yeah.
So that's lots of cool, impressive things in history that you hear about all the time, you read about, and it was cool to just go and see them.
Yeah. You realize when you go to Europe that America is just a little baby country compared to some of the other compared to the European countries. We have buildings.
The museums I went to
than all of America.
The museums I went to, and they're like, you're looking at stuff, and it's like, this is a bowl that was carved and made out of pottery, and it was made 500 years before Christ. Yeah. And you're like, that's ridiculous. We don't have anything like that in America. The history that Europe has blows America away.
Yeah, even just the buildings themselves. Yeah.
I only had a day. I only had one day at the Louvre Museum. I could have spent an entire week there just walking around and looking at the old junk because I wanted to read it all because it was so cool and it's so old and it's nothing like we have in America. So that was the coolest part.
People say the Mona Lisa is a little bit smaller and less impressive.
Well, yeah, it's tiny. It's tiny.
Was that your impression too?
Oh, yeah, it's real small. There's a picture. If the Mona Lisa's on this wall in front of me, the picture behind me is huge and it's really impressive and it's got all these animals and people in it. But the room that the Mona Lisa in is crammed packed with smelly people who just want to get up as close as they can to the Mona Lisa to take a selfie.
Oh, people take selfies with it?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, apparently.
Okay.
So...
It's in a behind glass or roped off? How is it?
It's roped off. It's roped off. You can get like within 6 feet of it.
Okay. So when did you get back? Are you experiencing jet lag? Is that a thing? You're traveling back from Europe. When did you get back?
I got back on Friday.
Okay.
And I had a cough that started on Thursday, and that has turned into I returned to a fever and all of that stuff when I got home.
Yeah, I hear a little bit in your throat there.
Yeah, so I've been dealing with that for a couple of days and a fever and sickness, which has been horrible. Here's a picture of the Mona Lisa, and you can see how small it is.
Yeah, and all those people.
And you can see all the stupid people.
Is there like a line? Do you get in line for the selfie up there? Or you just take it from wherever you're standing?
No. You push your way forward in order to get close enough to do it.
Yeah. That's wild. That's Josh, looking back at a lot to do in a short amount of time. Were we there for 2 weeks?
We were there for 12 days. 12 days. Kelly did an amazing job with our schedule but it was bang, bang, bang. It was go, go, go. It was super busy. So it wasn't a restful vacation, but we saw a lot, and that was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm planning this trip to Tanzania I'm going with another professor.
Yes.
And we always fight about this. This is one of the roots of one of our fights. We fight about a lot of things. But but I know she's great. I'm glad I'm going with her, but we do disagree on a lot of stuff. And one of the things is like how much to pack into those, because we're going to be there for a little over 3 weeks. And should we like take breaks, or do we want to cram as many kind of experiences as we can with our
and you're probably
want to kind of have more relaxing.
And you're probably my way of plan less and figure things out as we go.
I absolutely am. I'm like, let's just chill out.
That's my
like they're gonna have a great experience because we're going to freaking Tanzania. We don't need to pack it with every event because let's just embrace Tanzania and just chill and enjoy it. That's my angle. Her more is like we have 3 weeks to give them students the most kind of bang for their buck here.
Exactly. And that's how I am too. I am glad Kelly planned a bunch out because we were able to see so much, and that's great. But it did not make a restful vacation. It made a like see everything you want to see and bucket list type vacation, which is great, but it's different than a restful vacation.
Yeah. Does this inspire you? Like whenever I go on a trip like that, even to Tanzania, like the minute I'm like, it makes me want to do it more. Does this make you want to travel more, Josh? Or are you good for a while?
It made me appreciate American food.
You also went to very touristy spots, which I
went to touristy spots. It was so crowded. I wish I went during the winter. Everything was so crowded, and I was doing bucket list stuff, so I was doing all touristy stuff. Right. So all that is, I'm okay with people for a while. It's funny. I said probably midway through. You know what? It was when I was in Rome. In Rome, I was like, this is really impressive. I really need to plan that trip to Israel because I've talked about wanting to go to Israel for a long time. And I said, it's time to go. And then like 2 days later, they started bombing Israel.
I don't think now's a good time to go
to
Israel.
I said, you know what? Yeah. I'm good. I don't need to go to Israel.
Yeah.
So, no, I have, I think I will do more traveling in America.
What about Asia, Josh? You've never been to Asia, have you?
I've been to Singapore.
Oh, you have been to Singapore?
I've been to Singapore and Malaysia.
Okay.
So I think I will.
I've been to Africa before.
You know, there's lots of America that I have not explored yet. So I believe I will be back on my path of visiting baseball stadiums and doing my touristy thing that way.
Love that. Yeah.
I will be, Matt, when was the last time that you went to King's Dominion?
We took a road trip in college or maybe just out of college, and we head up. We went to Pennsylvania. We went to the oldest brewery in America, Yingling. And then we went to Chocolate World in Hershey. And as part of that trip, we went to King's Dominion, which is somewhere over there in Pennsylvania, too.
No, King's Dominion's in Virginia.
There's no King's Dominion over there in Pennsylvania?
No, that's Hershey Park. That's Hershey Park you went to.
Isn't there another one?
No.
Separate from Hershey Park? No. Okay. Well, maybe I didn't. Well, maybe it's been even longer. Maybe it's going back to high school then.
All right. Well, I am my next.
I was always more of a Six Flags kind of guy myself. Okay.
Yeah, I know because it was closer. Yeah. But my next trip is King's Dominion this Saturday.
Oh, really? Where? Where's
King's Dominion?
Oh, is there just one? It's not like a chain.
Yeah, there's just
King's
one.
Dominions everywhere.
No, there's just one.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like Six Flags. They're everywhere.
No, there's one amusement park called
Six Flags everywhere.
There's one amusement park called King's Dominion in Virginia, and Rob Spiewak of the Michael Mayer Show and I are going to be there on Saturday and do some roller coasters and things together.
Okay. You just going for the weekend?
Well, I am heading to New Jersey for the middle school camp.
Oh, it's that time.
So we decided let's meet up at King's Dominion because Rob loves King's Dominion, and it's like the King's Dominion's anniversary. So they've been asking us to come. So it's free passes also.
Josh, you still can't do roller coasters. You understand that, right? Your body will not allow you to do a roller coaster anymore.
No, I can do the wooden ones. And King's Dominion has the classic old ones that I could do in high school, so I assume I can still do them today.
You can't do the loop-de-loops.
No, I can't do loops.
Okay.
No,
I don't think.
You know how sick I got on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Josh, I get queasy when I go in my backyard with my kids and doing the swing. I get a little queasy on the swings now. I don't think you can handle it.
No, I can do the wooden roller coasters that go up and down.
All right. I think you're going to regret it after the first roller coaster. When was the last time you've been on a roller coaster?
A few years ago, I went to Disney with Emma 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed the There's a mountain coaster I enjoyed. There's a Snow White coaster I enjoyed. And then I did the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster, and I was the sickest I've ever been. So
Okay.
I just have to monitor which roller coasters I get on. No spinning.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you. I'm not planning on any amusement park trips in my future. And if I was, I would just hang out the bumper cars all day.
And King's Dominion has the old classic bumper cars with the little stick that goes up and
Yes,
powered
love
from
that.
above. So
Love that.
we'll do some of that. We're going to record some special Michael Mara show stuff there in honor of their anniversary and all, and it'll be pretty cool.
All right. Hey, can I ask one more travel question? Then we'll get back to the O's
Yeah.
and the show. This is a personal question. This is really just a practical life question because, Josh, I spent my entire day today, half my day, from about 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock, trying to do something in anticipation of travel, and I was wholly unsuccessful. Wasted 5 hours of my day. And I want to ask you about this. If you were trying to attain a $100 bill, actually multiple $100 bills, new crisp $100 bills.
Okay.
How does one attain 11 new crisp $100 bills? I tried from 11 to 4 to get $100 bills.
You go to the bank. You just go to the bank. Your bank.
I have Capital One. There's no branches around my house.
Oh.
If one does not have a branch.
I don't know. I needed euros and I needed pounds, and I just went to Wells Fargo and got them.
Okay. I need to get rid of Capital One, your local bank or something.
I believe you need a few ounces of drugs, and you can go exchange those for some $100 bills on the street corners of Macon.
I even tried, I probably could do that, but I even tried I was told I could take a cashier's check into Walmart and they would give me cash. I tried that and it didn't work. No one will take this cashier's check that I now have. It's like a waste because no one will even take it.
Well, no. You take a cashier's check to those check cashing places.
I know. I could take it to one of the check cash places, but they charge like $100 to cash my check.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Okay. Have you asked the other teacher who has a real bank to go do it?
Yeah.
I think you need to go into a physical bank.
I know, and I've gone into 4 physical banks with my check and said, "Hey, can you get money out?
Can you get money out of an ATM?"
Well, they only give you 20s, and there's like a $5 limit.
Oh, they only give you 20s?
Yeah, you can't get a $100 bill from ATM. At least not the ATMs around here. Anyway,
I have no idea.
Because the easiest thing to get your Visa in Tanzania is at the airport. You have to bring this new crisp $100 bill for how the Visa works, and so it's just been my life struggle.
So they don't take Bitcoin?
No, they don't take Bitcoin. So I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm gonna leave on Friday, and I need to get these.
I have no idea. Maybe a listener can help you out because that sounds really confusing. Yeah. Have you gone to just a physical bank that you're not a member of? Is there a bank that has a relationship with the school?
I guess I could look into that. I mean, I've gone into 4 physical banks. I've gone into a big time bank, Bank of America,
and none of them have been able. I went into
a credit union because I thought credit unions are more friendly, and then I went to just a local Macon bank. A local Macon bank. None of them.
And you told them what you're trying to do?
Yeah, none of them.
And they're not even like giving you ideas on what to do?
They give me like one bank said you should go to Bank of America. They'll do it. Bank of America didn't do it, so they weren't helpful. The other one says Bank of America said the only option is to go to one of these kind of shady, check cashing places.
That's weird. I didn't know it was so hard to get money.
I know. Like this, I have the money. I have it all in my account. I'm just trying to get it.
Hold on. If you take it all out of your bank account at the ATM and it's all in 20s, can't you just go to a bank and say, "Hey, I want to exchange these 20s for $100 bills"?
Yeah, they told me they wouldn't do it unless I have an account there. So I'm thinking I might need to, which is crazy. Isn't that crazy?
Open up, yeah, because it's money. They put it. If anyone's going to scan the money to make sure it's real, it's a bank.
Yeah, but even that, I'm limited with how much I can take out. It's not going to be enough, but I could do it maybe.
You could do it over 3 days. Yeah.
So I'm going to try to open an account tomorrow, and then.
That's ridiculous.
And then I'll try to go from there. Yeah, it's been.
I bet
there's
you can.
been a bunch
all
like
right.
that, which I feel like this is super simple.
Well, no, hold
It's
on.
just been really complicated.
Have you called Capital One?
I haven't called Capital One.
Call Capital One. They could FedEx you overnight the money.
Cash?
I had euros mailed to me because they didn't have them in the bank. So they mailed euros to me, and it came in like where you had to sign, where it got mailed in.
Well, that's what they did with the cashier's check. I asked for cashier's check, but I never thought about asking for cash money.
Ask for cash. Call them and tell them the problem you ran into, and maybe they can just mail you the cash.
All right. I don't mind calling. I should call and ask their advice anyway, because I've tried everything else. But all right. Anyway, that's my thing. We can get back to O's talk now. Though today's game's kind of ugly. What we got? 7-1.
Yeah, today's ugly.
Yeah, this is the type of game where. Go ahead, Silas. Right now he's flipping to the finals. We'll be watching the finals tonight instead of the rest of this game.
Now tonight's game's weird to watch because it's Steinbrenner Field, so it looks like a spring training game or a minor league game in the stadium. So it is weird to watch. So who knows? Maybe the bats can come alive.
The same in Sacramento.
Yeah.
True.
I kind of liked
yes.
the Sacramento vibes and the Tampa. Like if you could have two organizations in baseball move to minor league stadiums, these are the two teams you want to move there. Oakland and I mean it's kind of fun to see a packed house.
Miami would be the third,
for the Athletics and for the Rays, right? They're playing to a packed house. It's kind of cool.
Agreed.
This is an argument for, I think, smaller stadiums. And when you build your stadiums,
well, I think it speaks
markets,
to the trend you're already seeing of smaller stadiums. Yes. Did you see, speaking of smaller stadiums and stadium changes, did you see that Camden Yards is now adding a premium seat in place of the press box next year?
I saw that email. I felt like that was not intended for me.
Yeah. And you had the same view probably that I had. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I really don't think that.
Is it behind? I wasn't clear. I didn't look at it closely. I thought it was behind home plate. It's behind the press box.
No, it's in place of the press box. They're replacing the press box.
So where's the press box going to go?
Probably on the ends of it or something.
Okay.
Just not dead center behind home plate. But what irritates me about it.
Annoys me. You share what annoys you first.
All right. What irritates me about it is I don't care. Yeah, it's something other stadiums have that the Orioles haven't had. But I don't think the Orioles' attendance problem is that we need more rich people in the stadium.
Right.
I think we need something that's more fit for the general public. And I think if you could clear out that left field seat and make something kind of like they have in Atlanta, would go over way better than this.
Yeah. Because for way more than half the season, those two sections in left field are just empty.
Yeah, they don't even let you go there. The ushers won't even let
shut
you
it down.
Parts of the stadium.
Unless it's a big giveaway night.
Yeah. The thing I don't like, and I'm glad I don't think we're heading this direction, is the Nationals to me. And I know the Nationals actually
the seats directly behind. Yeah,
which are always half empty.
Right, I don't like that.
And I don't blame them for being half empty because we've sat in those seats before, Josh.
Yeah.
And you can sit just in the inside area, get all you can eat and stuff, and hang out there in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
But then it makes it looks like no one's in those sections and they're all spread out, and it's just and then you see the waiters come. Yeah, and it's just a bad look. I want to see normal seats full behind the home plate there. So I'm glad it's in the press box and not right behind home plate.
Yeah, I like that it's up high and out of the way.
You need to hide these rich uppity people. You need to hide them from the general public. We don't want to see them.
Yeah.
But I guess my point is I don't see what this does to make Camden Yards a better stadium.
Because we're a blue collar town here, right? We're not
right.
We shouldn't. Yeah, I agree.
I don't see this attracting more people.
No.
So,
but I don't think it's about attracting more people.
Do you think it's about
making more money?
Maybe, but again, those people are already spending monies on their own little boxes and stuff.
Yeah, but the box suites are limited. I think this opens up
Do you think that it's?
our money.
Do you think Cal and Rubenstein are tired of sitting up close to the field?
Yeah, isn't it
They wanna-
fun?
They
That
want to sit back there.
I wonder if that's what they said. I mean, John would always sit. I mean, the John Angelos would always sit in the suites.
Right. The couple times he came.
The couple times he came, Rubenstein and Cal are men of the people, so they'd sit down there right by the dugout.
Right.
And so I hope that remains the same.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 games ago. Cal sat in the suites.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they showed him in the suites.
Yeah.
But
He's Cal.
Well,
he can sit wherever he wants.
There was a fun game with Cal a couple of days ago where a fly ball landed right behind him and John Harbaugh, and neither one of them tried to catch it.
Yeah. They're not invited to Savannah Banana ball games. That's all I got to say.
Oh, I wonder who.
When is that game happening at Camden Yards? Isn't that happening?
That's in August. That's in August. And I wonder if they will bring in like a former Oriole or something to be a special banana. You know how they do that sometimes?
Yeah.
That could
You're
be
not
fun.
planning on going to one of those games, are you?
I am not. No.
Okay.
Nope.
Nor am I. All right, so we're feeling good. I mean, if you look at Judge, we have? Help me out here. I don't have the stands in front of. I mean, the schedule in front of me. We have
yesterday
4 against the Rays, then 3 against the Yankees, and then the Rangers, and then the Rays.
Let's see. You know, the MLB app does an annoying thing where like they change the interface once the game starts. Where like if you go pregame, the schedule icon's like right up in the corner. And then when they switch to while the game's going on, I always get confused and can never find the icon I need.
he got a soccer jersey.
So I know it's 4 with Tampa, then 3 with the Yankees, and then the Rangers.
Yeah, and then we got home Rangers. It's a weird schedule. Home Rangers and Rays, then at the Rangers, and that should be
at the Rangers.
And that should be a fun week. We got
and then we go to the Braves for the 4th of July series.
Right.
And the Braves have been struggling just like us. They're having very similar season.
Yeah, they've been dealing with some injuries too, and have been kind of up and down. Started off really rough.
So that's 2 weeks that are going to make a difference on this team.
Yeah, should be a fun week against the Rays. Well, first of all, on the Rangers, there's Orioles Pride Night and Pride Jersey. I don't know if you have any thoughts on those that you like to share, Josh. And
I like Clayton Kershaw.
The City Connect soccer jersey, and then Cal Jr. Iron Man jersey.
I do want the Iron Man bobblehead.
I think there's gonna be some great crowds, right, for the soccer jersey and then for the Iron Man.
Those will both be packed games.
Yeah, so that should be fun. And I think after Tampa Bay and the Yankees, and then Texas Tampa Bay, we'll have I think a much clearer every week, right? Gives you a little clearer picture of what this team is and who we are. And after a successful West Coast trip, I think at home now against divisional teams, we're going to have a clearer picture of who this team is.
Correct.
And if you think about all the success we had recently, it's all interconnected, right? Like as you're starting pitching and Charlie Morton and Dean Kramer get better, all of a sudden your bullpen is pitching less. And so when they're called upon, their arms a little bit more fresh. And so they pitch a little bit more effectively because they haven't been used as much. And then if you look the same way, it's not just that Jordan Westbrook's back. It's that there's players who shouldn't have been getting at bats. Emmanuel Rivera, for example, I like him. He shouldn't have any at bats in the major leagues. And so all of a sudden, there's like this trickle. Like not only is Westbrook back, but the guy who was getting at bats is not here. And not only is Dean Kramer going into the 6th or 7th inning better, but it means Sir Anthony Dominguez is having to pitch half an inning or 1 inning as opposed to 2 innings or on 1 day rest as opposed to back to back. And so it's just amazing, right? When you see everything goes wrong, everything that one wrong thing happens impacts all the other stuff. And it can so quickly get out of hand. Whereas when things go right, it just impacts other things to help other things go right. It's another reason why baseball is an amazing sport. And also why you can see like things go off the rails so quickly because things impact other things down the line.
Yeah, things impact things.
That's all I'm saying here. All I'm saying is you get one thing, it impacts the next thing. And this is in a negative way or in a positive way. And now it's a positive.
I am positive about the Orioles now. I am going to try to put together a couple of shows while you are in Tanzania. And hopefully when you come back, we are both really positive and hot on these birds.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's like an 8-hour time difference. I'm gonna try to follow the team. Maybe I can get a call in here every now and then.
I'm
with you.
flexible, so if we can do a phone call sometime or a WhatsApp call, we can record something.
All right, that sounds
Catch
good.
up.
All right, that sounds good. All right, Josh. Well, I'm glad you're back home safely. Ships passing the night here, and yeah, so stay tuned with what's next for Section 336.
All right, safe travels.
Yeah, thanks. And to find out when our next show will be and who's on there, I'm sure Josh will update the social media.com, like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, or maybe you won't. I don't know.
I've been doing a lot on TikTok lately.
Okay.
Josh Soroka 336 on TikTok.
All right, follow Josh on TikTok and follow the show on TikTok, Section 336.
Facebook has
Twitter as well.
Facebook has told me has forced me to become a content creator or something like that, or it made me change my page to a content creator because of the number of followers or something.
Oh, really?
So you can follow me on there too if you want.
Oh, congrats, Josh! Look at you, a little influencer.
Yeah, apparently I am. I don't know. All the social medias are now reaching out to me and making me like a content creator. So look at me, you're influencer.
Look at that! Just took your second act in life, right?
Right,
Stick
exactly.
It all, you 20-year-olds.
Yeah, the 45-year-old influencer right here.
Yeah, love that. Well, the people in our 40s, we need to be influenced too. I can't relate to all these 20-somethings.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, boys and girls. If you like the show, go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, leave us a 5-star review and write why you enjoy the show. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Section 336. You follow Josh on X
at Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.